Okay, so to make kūlolo, we have some kalo here. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clean it and separate it. So we're gonna separate the huli from the kalo. We're gonna cut it below the kuhina, which is the line here. And we're gonna take off all these extra roots and shoots. So if you wanna replant the huli, you just cut it below. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp. Okay, get a nice clean cut, and then you can replant this later. And so now we're just gonna take off all the extra roots, any baby shoots. If these were allowed to grow, this would have become a baby kalo. Okay, see, nice and clean on the inside. Different kalo has different colors on the inside. So before I put this in the crock pot, I'm just gonna give this a quick rinse. And okay, so when you rinse your kalo, I recommend only doing this in your kitchen sink if you have a garbage disposal, because as you can see, it makes all kind of mess. But just gonna gently rinse it off. So now this is all nice and washed. You can see how this one is a lighter color than the one we cut earlier. This is a different variety. Different varieties, different colors, different tastes, textures. Now before putting the kalo in the crock pot, I do like lining the pot with tea leaves. You don't have to do this. You can just use aluminum foil or even just by itself. But I do like the flavor that the tea leaves give to the kalo. It's just a slight subtle flavor that, I don't know, it just makes it a little that much more interesting, I think, in taste-wise. So if you have access to tea leaves, you just cut them, and then you want to rinse them off, give them a good wipe down. You can remove the spine using like your nail, or some people use their teeth, or if you're having difficulty, you can use like a pair of scissors, and then you can just peel back this piece. Yep. See? And so it's nice and flexible now, so you can just put it directly in the crock pot and then put the kalo inside. Okay, just give it a quick rinse. Put inside. Then I'll do like maybe one more. Just again, snip the spine. It doesn't need to be a deep cut. You don't want it to be too deep, because then you'll cut through the leaf and then the whole thing will just split apart. I like doing it this way too, because you can just put the leaves on the bottom, and then when you put the kalo in, you can just kind of makes like a giant laulau. So let's see if I can show you. Yeah, and then so now I can just start putting the kalo inside. About that much, and then the leaves can just go fold over, or you can put another one on top. And then, sorry for all the movement, just gonna put a little bit water. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, but I'm just gonna pour over. Hold these down. Oh, I need the lid. Okay, so we're all plugged in, got the lid on, and then I like putting it on, oh, where am I? Low, okay, go high. But if you make low, then you can do maybe this amount for between 4 to 6 hours. And or if you do on high, if you do low, maybe 10 hours. Yeah, so it should be good. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're gonna check the kalo to see how it's done. I put these in at 9:30 this morning. It is now 3:30, so about 6 hours later. Just gonna use a chopstick to stick inside to see if it's soft, and that means it's cooked all the way through. Check these other ones. Yep, nice and soft. All pow. Yep, perfect. Okay, so we can turn the crock pot off. So we can leave this covered, and we're just gonna let it cool off. And yeah, and then once it's cool, we can start peeling it and then mushing. Okay, and we'll wait for it to cool. Okay, so it's cool enough. It is still a bit warm, but it looks pretty good. Nice and cooked through. It's very soft. You can break it open. Very tasty. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrape off the skin. See, like here's a little, show up. Here's a little rotten spot that we can just scrape out. See, it comes out nice and easy. Yep, so just do that with all the kalo, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, next step, we have our kūlolo, and we're gonna mix it with the other two ingredients, coconut milk and sugar. Now, normally I'd like to get coconut milk fresh from the coconut, but my coconut tree is now dead, so we're using canned coconut milk. You wanna get the coconut milk that has the most fat you can buy. So I usually use like 2 cans for about this amount. You don't have to make this amount, but you know. And then sugar, comes from a sugar cane plant, but I just use the sugar, and I don't like my kūlolo to be too sweet, so I usually just use about 1/3 cup for this whole amount. Some people use a little bit more. If you like a little bit more, after the kūlolo's pow, you can sprinkle sugar on top to make it a little bit sweeter, but I don't like super sweet kalo. So because this, I don't know if you can still see it, it's a little bit still steaming. So if it's not cooled down all the way and you don't have a glass blender, then let it cool down all the way if you have a plastic blender. But I have a glass blender, so I can put it when it's still hot. So what I'm gonna do is just put these pieces inside, and you can break them up. They'll blend a little bit more better. Oh, and I wanted to show you, so the lighter color kalo is like still yellow, and then the pinker kalo came out pink. So I don't know if you can see the color differences, but I really like when the colors are mixed together. And then the coconut milk, you wanna shake it and help open or loosen up all the chunks inside there. And actually, if you can get the coconut cream instead of coconut milk, that's even better. So you don't want to add too much liquid, because then it's going to be more soupy and not so pudding consistency. So, good enough. Okay. And then what we're going to do is move this. Gonna get our oven baked dish. And again, you want to line the bottom with tea leaves. And you want the shiny side up. And then this one, it doesn't really matter if it's all the way blended up or not anyway, because it's all going to get mixed up and cooked together. And this is the kind of consistency you want. You don't want it too liquidy. You do want it to be kind of thick. And if there's some pieces that didn't fully get blended up, then you can just mush them up with your hands. So like here's a chunk that didn't get mashed up. Now traditionally this would be done with a board and stone or a papaku'iai and a but my stone is broken, so I use a blender. But yeah, so we just can continue doing that. And I do like chunks in it. I like the texture differences. So yeah, we're just gonna keep doing that, keep making it until we have maybe about half of this dish full. Okay, I wanted to show you what it looks like halfway full. So see how it's nice and sticky. You want a sticky consistency. Yeah, and now I'm gonna put it in the oven for 2 hours at 400 degrees. Okay, so the oven went off. Time to open and see. It is 2 hours later. Let's see. Oh, it sizzles. Sizzle, sizzle. Where do I put this? Okay, come see. Hello. Can you hear it sizzling? Yay. Okay. Let's open. Oop. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, this crusty stuff on here is delicious, but it's also really hot right now, so don't eat it when hot, but it is good. Yes, very hot. Ooh, but I'm going to eat it anyway. Yes, yes. Okay, delicious. Okay, so that part's crispy. So, yeah, it is cooked. So as it cools down, it'll solidify a little bit more. And then, yeah, so this is basically it. There's a couple more steps we can do if we want to fancy it up a bit, but I'll see what I choose to do when it cools down.